you can see here next to me, already thousands of people have already descended on the stadium to witness the inauguration of President-elect Cyril Ramaphosa. Well, they've been here as early as 2 o'clock this morning, saying they can't miss out on this auspicious occasion to watch who will in the next few hours be the head of state of South Africa. Without wasting time, let's chat to some of them who've come here very early morning. Ndade, a very good morning to you. You've come here so early this morning. Tell us why.
We came here because we are excited to inaugurate our president here, and all of us were very happy, and we are keeping the message of unity for all South Africans and the world to see that we are people that we are making headways in terms of growing our economy and making employment for our young people, and seeing to it that there is welfare in all our people here.
All right, thank you so much. Sir, if you could just join us, just have a look at the camera there. We want everyone at home to see you. Sir, obviously, you've woken up very early. I see you're also donning the South African flag. What do you want to hear the President-elect, who will be in the next couple of hours be the head of state of the Republic of South Africa? What do you want to hear him say?
Actually, I just want to confess while he will be giving us the speech. So therefore, as youth, we will be getting some work, and these other corruption things will be sorted as soon as possible. And we have got we are proud of him. We are very proud of Ramaphosa. That's why on the 8th we went to cast our vote. So that's why, and we believe on him. As ANC, we said, in 10 years to come or 5 years to come, everything will be in order as the whole country. We just want to thank you.
Thank you very much. They've come from far and wide, obviously, to come and witness this occasion. You can see already them with Viva Ramaphosa. And it's going to be quite a tough day to try and traverse so many people who are obviously very excited to be here today. Sir, a young person, I can see you also woke up very early to come and be here. Tell us why. What is exciting you in particular about this day, and what do you want to hear the President-elect say?
Makadzi ndobva Venda nga foya madao nga mulova ndiko vandi Venda ndo dafano supporta Ramaphosa. Viva guerrilla, viva Ramaphosa ndiko vandi Venda.
Well, thank you very much. Let's take one more as well. I'm really hoping you can also see there are young people who've been brought here as well. They've also woken up. I can see if we could just bring her towards this location. Ma'am, let's talk to you very shortly. What do you want to hear the President-elect say here today?
Nandoda ndikofanda totakalisa zvinji mukumba ngauri rodo supporta muvenda wa vorine vo Cyril Ramaphosa na chitshava chote ngo angaredza ndikofana ndo hulisia vukuma ndichikotobva ndinjelele amavunga RDP House ndichikoda fano Pretoria stadium ndikofana ndiwa nthangamana.
Thank you so much. That's where we'll have to leave it here for now, but certainly we'll be speaking to the thousands of people who have come here from far and wide, from the different provinces, from as early as 3 o'clock this morning, many camping outside the gates of the Loftus Versfeld Stadium as early as 1 o'clock this morning. So certainly they want to be part of this auspicious occasion. Let's hand back to you in studio for now, and we'll certainly catch up with many more of the other individuals who've already taken their seats here at Loftus Versfeld, both young and old. We'll certainly engage with them here on SABC News. It's back to you in studio for now.
Well, welcome back to the studio here at Loftus Versfeld. And of course, as you could see there, as you can hear, the atmosphere absolutely festive. And I was listening to everybody talking about, it's such an auspicious day. And I'm like, we need to find a different word. Pulled up the dictionary quickly. Auspicious. So the synonyms, conducive to success and favorable is what it means. But some of the synonyms, a favorable day, propitious day, also promising, bright, rosy, good, optimistic, all of those good positive things.
I was going to say those are all good words, but watching Griselda there, I just got the sense that we're in the wrong place. We need to go down.
The fun is down there. The fun is down there.
Griselda's usually where the party is.
But we're here. We've got a job to do, and we'll bring you up to speed with everything that will be happening happening here and how it will unfold. The information will be flowing from here. And joining us now is the acting head of Government Communications and Information Systems, Phumla Williams. Thanks so much for stopping by this morning. Are you happy with how things are turning out right now?
Good morning, Sakina and Stephen, and good morning to the viewers at home. I think one can say that the plan is coming to fruition. It's been a long, hard, long hours of planning, and so far I think it's going according to plan. We're just not sure whether the people will move in fast enough, but I think we've tried. I think in the morning at 3 a.m. I was at the Rittendale. There were lots of people who were already there, and we are hoping that by the time the president is ready to start, we would have filled the stadium, because I think the plan is going quite well.
It is a really incredible vibe. I mean, it's a sort of party vibe for an inauguration.
It's been an exciting even project to do, even from us as government, because I think it's one project that we feel so excited to do, because here is a man who was put into this driving seat 2 years ago and made commitments, and the commitments that have come to fruition. The president in 2017 made commitments to say, I'm going to work towards creating these jobs, and I'm going to work in tackling corruption, I'm going to work in sorting out the SARS, in sorting out the NPA. And we have no reason why we shouldn't be excited, because yes, there's more things to come, but I think the more exciting thing is the general public, because I think the president can do so much. I think we all have to rally and support the president, and I think the attendance today says it all.
Let's talk about that departure from having this inauguration ceremony at the Union buildings, which is where it traditionally happened, but it's now moved to Loftus, Versfeld. Talk to us about the significance and the symbolism behind that move.
Sakina, when we were planning, the central thing that even drove everybody, the president was saying, IMC, look at the possibilities of making this event an inclusive event, but that is alive to the economy of our country. And at the beginning we thought, well, maybe it's not going to be achievable to achieve both cost effectiveness and also inclusivity. And lo and behold, because I think one of the things that we were looking at, the administrative capital should remain as the center of this event. And when we were doing the numbers were incredible. What we would have paid in the Southern Lawn and in the Nelson Mandela's amphitheater is way more than what we are paying here, because most of the infrastructure was ready. Previously in the state in Union building we would pay a lot on just infrastructure alone, and I think we've saved a lot. But all South Africans are going to be witnessing this event without President having to be moved from the amphitheater down to the Southern Lawn and end up summarizing what he had said at the top. So everybody's gonna hear it from first hand at the real time.
And Phumla, obviously the usual question at this stage in the morning, VIPs, other heads of state, we've seen the list of people invited. We know last minute sometimes people can't arrive. Are you able to tell us who is here so far?
Yes, I think people some of the heads of states are still arriving, but I can confirm the Namibians, Namibian head of state, Swaziland head of state, Burkina Faso, South Sudan, Angola, Swaziland, Zimbabwe. So I think that's the list, but I think the list is going to be increasing as people arrive, but that's just at the top of my head, the ones that have already arrived.
And some of the notable ones that we wanted to find out about, the United Nations Secretary General Guterres, is he here? Also KK Kaunda, some of the eminent persons, or some of those, can you tell us more about?
I think we will confirm as the day comes, because I think we prefer to confirm when they have landed.
It does make sense to do that. In the end, you talk about participation of people, and you talk about the vibe that's already started, the singing. I mean, if we just look over this white sort of balcony here, and you look down to your right, you will see hundreds of people queuing up to get in here. I mean, it might be too early to say, Sakina, but I think possibly people are going to change their mind about this decision. I think we're going to see that people are quite pleased about the vibe and the inclusivity.
I'm not. I didn't get that.
So people are quite pleased about the inclusivity. If you look at the vibe, it's quite difficult to do this at the union buildings.
That's the point. I think people used to celebrate at the union building, but I think the stadium just creates that vibe. You're correct. I think it creates the vibe, and I think I'm looking forward to the stadium being full, and we'll just get a sense of the vibe.
And of course, we can see people waving flags, and there's the DRC flag that I told you about earlier. I'm spotting that one to my right as well. And the festivities going on. People seem to have come here prepared to camp out, but they also need to get accreditation for those who are still coming in. So if you could just speak to that process very briefly again.
Just before I even respond to that, you know, Sakina, one of the things that was occupying my phone is foreign nationals that are in South Africa, and they were phoning to say, are we allowed to attend? Because that's the excitement that we are experiencing. Foreign nationals that are in South Africa are saying we want to be part of the change in South Africa. But yes, in terms of the walk-ins, there is a process. The walking, I think when I came also, that process was moving smoothly, and I think one has got to be optimistic that it will go according to the way it is going. People are coming in, getting their wristband from the AFI school, and are being ushered in, and they are going into smoothly. And those that came with the buses, they are transported, they already have their wristbands, and they are coming through, and it is moving very smoothly.
Well, Pumla Williams, thank you very much indeed. Good luck to you for the rest of the day. I know that you'll need it. The Acting Head of Government's Communication and Information Service. All right, we're right in the centre of the stadium. Let's go slightly outside the stadium. Patricia Fasahi is standing by. Patricia, good morning. What can you see there?
Well, a beautiful good morning from the Loftus Versfeld here in Hatfield, in the heart of the capital city. And of course, a big event awaits here as all eyes falls on the Loftus Stadium ahead of the presidential inauguration that will be taking place later in the program. South Africans coming in their numbers from, of course, all corners of the country to be part of this prestigious event, to see a new dawn that will be ushered in as President-elect Cyril Ramaphosa will officially be taking his oath of office in front of thousands of South Africans. So let's speak to some of them and just get the mood on the ground. Why are they here? Why did they come all this way to come and celebrate with the rest of the country? Mama, if you can just get off your phone and tell us, why are you here today?
I'm so happy. I'm coming to witness the biggest moment of the inauguration of our president. Viva Ramaphosa, viva!
Just to you, sir, I see you also standing by. You've woken up very early. You're here. Tell us the motivation that has actually encouraged you to be here this morning.
The main purpose is to celebrate the Africa's Day, and also for the inauguration of the president. As the president is going to start the service, the program for service delivery. So we are here to say, come the president, continue with the service delivery, deal with all the issues that you promised they will do during the elections. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay, just another voice as well. If you can tell us why you came, you woke up very early this morning to be part of the celebration. What motivated you?
I just want to congratulate Cyril Ramaphosa for here, and then Kitabile, Kalawaka changes in South Africa. I'm happy.
Okay. And just another voice.
Hello, Salmina Sapu from Limpopo. I'm here to inaugurate my president Cyril Ramaphosa. I want everyone to see me in South Africa that I love my organization and my president Cyril Ramaphosa.
Okay, a lot of love for the president. I see you are in the colors of the African National Congress. Your message to the president-elect.
My message to my president is congratulations, and please don't forget us. Don't forget people outside Ramaphosa. They voted for you. Please, Ramaphosa, we love you. Viva, comrade, viva.
All right, there you hear it from the voices. A lot of excitement, a jovial mood up to this big moment that will see President Cyril Ramaphosa rise after being sworn in as the country's 6th head of state. Here, of course, here at Loftus Versfeld, you can see the crowd really swelling up as they are moving into the stadium. And, of course, the flags that are also flying high, the South African flag, the ANC flags, as of course that is his political home. But we'll be bringing you more updates, live updates in terms of what is happening on the ground and just the faces, the voices and the mood. But for now, let's link to my colleague Mzwandi Lembeje, who will also give you more updates in terms of what's happening at his side.
All right, Mzwandile just setting up. I think he's got someone quite special to speak to.
He certainly does, and they're all going to be coming through, so looking forward to that. But in the meantime, while he sets that up, I mean, the guest list is quite impressive here today.
It really is. Also a who's who of society. I mean, what's been fascinating for me is watching some of the people who've been stuck in traffic. I mean, people who frankly should know better, who've managed to get stuck in traffic this morning. And what you're seeing is that, you know, you had to be here early, some of us were, and we're very grateful. What is interesting, and I must tell you, Sakina, I'm just going to look over here, and I can't take the camera with me, I'm afraid. But if I look to my right, so if I look to that side as I peer over, there are literally hundreds of people streaming in. It really is quite a sight to see how people are doing that and how many people are here with the vibe, and the stadium just continues to fill up.
And that's what Phumla Williams was talking about, and we saw that queue building from quite early this morning. So it promises to be a capacity crowd, and the vibe, if this little crowd here behind us is anything to go by, it's going to be absolutely electrifying later on.
I think it's also going to be interesting to see what happens and the reactions that the different heads of states get. And this is always interesting. I mean, it's a bit like Parliament in some ways.
It certainly is.
But as people arrive, and I mean, if we go back to previous inaugurations, we've seen that. As people arrive, there's a big reaction to some, not so much to others. I remember the sort of surprise when brother leader Muammar Gaddafi arrived in 2014. People weren't expecting it, and there he was. I remember former President Robert Mugabe from Zimbabwe in 2004. That was then President Thabo Mbeki's second inauguration.
Yeah.
It is interesting, though, because I know you've been at previous inaugurations.
Yeah. And it's definitely, you know, you always get down on the lawns. As Phumla was speaking, you would get the festivity, the festive atmosphere. But this seems really special, you know, and people seem really happy. They're in real high spirits. And as I said, they came, as you could see them coming through, and it's a pity that we can't just show you. They are coming out to enjoy this day. They've packed, and of course, as you can see there, you know, they have whatever they need to keep them comfortable as they enjoy the proceedings here today.
It's interesting how some people are in suits and ties and very formally dressed, and then lots of other people have just dressed warmly, because it is actually still pretty chilly. It's going to warm up. What's the advice from people older than us? Is to wear layers, right?
Yes, so you can take some off if you need to, or put them on if you need to. But I want us to just quickly look through the guest list, the people who were expected. And of course, not everybody will be here, as we heard from Phumla Williams. But just looking at the guest list, it is an impressive one.
It really is. I mean, lots of different heads of state, lots of people from around Africa and in SADC, but also other parts of the world. The president of CARICOM, we're talking about the Caribbean due here. Other people as well from different parts of the world. It's one of those guest lists that really does show far and wide is where the invitations went.
Absolutely. And of course, just looking at it, as we spoke there to Phumla Williams, KK Kaunda, he probably will not make it. He hasn't arrived as yet, as we understand. And then, of course, there are others, as you said, Timothy Sylvester Harris from the Caribbean. All the SADC heads of state were invited. And as far as we know, they are all in attendance.
It's also interesting to see who from our society has come, who has been a head of state or a deputy head of state. So from around 10:30 is when that procession will arrive. We'll see the deputy president, former deputy president Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka, for example, from around 10:30. We'll see former deputy president, that's how she's called in the program, Baleka Mbete. She's also the former speaker of the National Assembly. And then we have the other former heads of state as well, going all the way back to F.W. de Klerk.
Absolutely. And it's going to be interesting to see. We are expecting all of them to show up, but there was talk that perhaps because of his legal woes, Jacob Zuma might not. But we don't have any confirmation on that as yet. But all of them are on the guest list. They are expected to attend.
All right, Mzwandile Mbeje standing by. He has, I think, someone who is not a politician, but someone you do want to wish. Mark Fish is standing next to Mzwandile Mbeje. Mzwai, go for it.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Of course, I have someone here. He's got views about this country. It's Mark Fish, the soccer legend, of course, the Bafana Bafana legend and the Orlando Pirates legend. Mark Fish, you're here to celebrate the inauguration of the new president. So what are your hopes as a South African?
As a South African, fortunately, I'm grateful to be here, and I'm honoured, and I'm wishing that my thoughts are and my wishes are that the president, everything that he's led, said in the elections, coming up to becoming and voting for the elections, that he puts through. And I just think that he's a person, he's a well-spoken person, he's someone that's very well educated, he knows what he needs to do to turn this country around. We as all South Africans in the elections, they said we want to bring the country together as we all hoped from 94, 98 and all the different inaugurations. But the point being is the president is the president. We've elected him, we've selected him, and we've given him the job of turning this country around where all South Africans want this country to be, which is the best country, not only on the continent, the best country in the world. And we want the people of South Africa to prosper again, as everything was hoped for in the 1994 elections.
Well, you are someone who really has views about this country. In fact, we actually featured you in one of our programs where you basically rated this democracy. So from now on, so do you think we are on the right path?
I think that we are on the right path, but I think it's not only, when I say it's not only up to the president and the leading party, the ANC, it's all the other parties need to come into conjunction and make sure we work together to change this country. But it's also us as South African citizens. We need to assist our leaders to make sure this country can be the country we want it to be.
Do you think that will also translate into footballing greatness?
Of course, let's talk about it. I'm proud of Bafana Bafana, and I hope that Bafana Bafana can go there and actually surprise everyone. And we have a new country. When I say a new country, we've got a new leader inaugurating our new president, and maybe that can stream up into our sports. We've got all different sports representing this year. We've got the cricket, the rugby, we've got the football, women's banyana, we've got the under-20s now at the World Cup. Let's hope that can transpire into our sports and invigorate this country through our sporting nation being successful again.
Thank you very much, Mark.
Thank you.
Well, there was Mark Fish there, the soccer legend. I mean, basically sharing his views, basically saying he's hopeful that the president will really work with all South Africans in terms of changing this country around as we head back to the studio.
I will be a president for all South Africans.